What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Year of the Z build, aka That Bowtie Z32. As most of you know me on Instagram, and if you're not following me on Instagram, go check it out. It's That Bowtie Z32, and I really appreciate you guys coming back around. Here we are, episode 15. We're finally finished with the paint, minus the front bumper, which we covered in the last video, and the hatch, which has some runs in it. They're clear runs. We can sand them out, no big deal. If we have to, we can respray it. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not worried about that right now. We need to get some movement going, and what we're going to be working on today is the brakes. This beautiful Tilton 3-pedal setup and getting these guys plumbed properly. We have some of the hardware here, special ordered from Jigs and the Amazon. We are going to be working on that right now. I have most of the other stuff over there by the car, but I want to go ahead and get this plumbed up as my boxes are right here. Shout out to Gavin, don't lose sight. And I'm going to get that situated. So I'm going to put you guys up on my awesome little swivel mount right here, and we'll get going on this. So I want to give you guys a little bit of a rundown on this guy. So here we have the Tilton pedal set. The pedals themselves are fully adjustable. The throw on them is also fully adjustable. You can adjust the height on them. You can adjust the height on them, how much they, where they sit on here. You can adjust the height on the pedals, and on the actual masters themselves. Here are your master cylinders. I am running a remote reservoir, which you guys may or may not have seen me mount in the engine bay before. And these are -3 AN lines for your hard lines, and these are the -4s. I really hope I got the right ones. I bought them from Tilton, but they're 7/16 banjo fittings for these guys, aka I think they're -4s. Yeah, I think it's a -4 banjo. So what we're going to be doing is getting these fittings put in place and seeing how they fit or work, and on top of that, we're going to make sure that these guys fit, most importantly, as we did order them and they were specifically for these in particular. You guys need to run hard lines on the -3 side of these. It is recommended from Tilton. Go follow their channel or go check out their how-to videos online, and they have some great just information. If you have any questions or you want a pedal setup like this, reach out to them. They'll set you up with one of their engineers, and they'll go through how big your brakes are, what size your pistons are within your brakes, so they can get these ballast properly for your brake setup. So this one's actually my front brake, and this is my rear brake, so that whenever I start to hit the brakes, this one on this side is actuating first, and then this one, because of the ballast bar and how it's set up. So I've also got a remote ballast adjuster, which I haven't had set up yet. We'll be adding that to the car as well. So let's get these guys thrown on and see where we get to. But these guys are awesome. They've helped me so much before. They actually made my power steering, custom power steering line for me. I told them what I needed, brought them what I needed, and they made my custom hose right there on the spot. They've got a whole bunch of different fittings and everything. I think you guys can order from them too if you guys need stuff. So we just left there, and here we are back in my work, aka where the car is for right now. And speaking of that, I've got some massive news. If you guys haven't followed me on Instagram, I gave you a little teaser of it on there, on my story. But I've got some massive news that we will be sharing later in this video about what's to come for the channel. All right, here we are, guys, back from Hoser. Those guys are awesome. Shout out to those guys for hooking me up. This guy right here obviously does not match this guy. If you look at the difference in size, they don't fit. It doesn't work. So this was actually a Tilton part number, Tilton part and everything for the banjo. Like I said in my statement earlier, is I'm not super happy about that I ordered these from them. These are actually quite expensive. I think they were like 10 bucks a piece or 15 bucks a piece. Yeah, not very happy about that. So these are guys are gonna go back. There's a part number. If you guys are gonna be doing this, don't buy these. That's not the right one. Maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. It says 77, 78 right here. I don't know if that means the last three of this series, because this is a 750 series. But yeah, I don't know. This is what was recommended to me, and it doesn't work. And you can even see it right there. It says tilting. Like I said, it might, oh, yeah, it looks like the guy just told me the wrong one. If you see that right there, it says 78 series, if you can read that. Looks like it's the wrong series, because this is not that. So that sucks. I'm just gonna return them. I'm gonna send them back to where I got them from. Again, a little miscommunication, but I guess it was a learning experience. So anyways, supporting my local business, hitting up Hoser. They had a really nice replacement for that fitting. It is a seal lock fitting with the washer and a nut. So you tighten the nut down once you get it in place, and it locks it in place. Very nice. We use them at work all the time on our hydraulic systems. So we're going to put this guy back on. Another thing I highly recommend you guys to buy if you are going to be doing a lot of AN stuff, or you're going to be doing a lot of things where you don't want to mess your fittings up or mess a tool up, is these. These are Nipex. These are really, really great adjustable pliers that lock. You press the button, they slide, and they adjust pretty far. I think these go to like 1.5 inches or something. These guys are great, especially for doing stuff like this, where say you don't have the right wrench for it to be able to do it, or you don't want to buy an AN wrench. These guys I use every single day, and they are absolutely amazing. They also don't mess up your stuff, which again, the big plus. You know, I know a lot of guys who just grab a pair of channel locks or something. I was that guy at one point when I was doing my fuel system on the car, and I did mess up some of my fuel line, not my fuel lines, but some of the fittings, and actually had to throw them away and get more because I was impatient and didn't want to buy the AN fitting or the AN wrench. But these guys really supersede that. These are super, super nice and really durable as well. So we're gonna get these tightened back up like so. Nice and snug, just like how they were. Then we're gonna put these beautiful fittings on here. Again, thank you to Hoser for hooking me up on these. Shout out to you guys. So now what I'm gonna do is back this nut off, and I'm gonna get them clocked. So can't go that way. So I'm probably gonna wanna be about right here. So what I'm gonna do is get my wrenches out. I think it's, yeah. So it is 9/16 and 7/16, and I'm gonna hold this guy probably about right there at that angle, and tighten the nut down, the jam nut down, to then put pressure on the washer below and seal off the O-ring. So now we're installed there. I'm gonna go ahead and put our dash 3s on. So these are dash 4s. These are actually what are going to be giving the fluid into the master cylinder. And I might end up angling that a little bit higher so that we get the fluid in a little easier. But we're gonna put these guys on next. These are your out. So this is your high pressure line. You really wanna make sure that these are stainless steel or steel fittings. The reason for that is because, wrong size. The reason for that is because you have a lot of pressure on your brake lines. If you didn't know, I mean, it is quite a lot. So now that we got that one done, we're gonna do the rest. All right, so I know that looked kind of chaotic, but I decided to change it up a little bit. So I'm gonna put the outs here on the ends just to make it a little easier. You guys can see that. Make it on the ends just a little to make it a little easier on me. having them here would have been great, but I'm going to be having a flat floor on this. I'm going to be utilizing these threaded pieces right here to be able to do that, and I didn't want to have the fitting sitting too high. These guys aren't going to work, so I'm going to run back over to Hoser and get these guys swapped out for straights, so that I can just run a straight and tuck the line alongside. So sorry about that, but we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back again. It's great having local people, good people too. The guy that owns Hoser is actually a car guy, so he was like, "Ah, dude." It's like, "I hate that for you." He said, "Let's get those swapped out." So here we go. We got some straights so that we can get these guys sorted properly. Really enjoy working with people that know what they're talking about, and especially have parts availability in today's time. And those guys have parts out the wazoo to be able to do what we need to do. So those are done. Let's go throw it in the car and we'll work on the plumbing. But before we do that, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a showcase of some cool things that I picked up here lately. So here we have a very nice piece of hardware. This is a pressurized brake switch. So basically, whenever your high pressure goes through the switch, it picks up over 100 psi, turns your brake lights on for you. It's a power and a signal, so obviously it has power to it all the time so that it can recognize if there's pressure there. Once it meets the physical contacts, it continues to send the signal, which is the white wire, back to wherever you need it to be, and even gives you some crimp connectors for it as well. And this piece I ordered as well from the same supplier that I got the fittings that didn't work. This is a purpose-made piece to go with the brake switch, pressurized brake switch. So this will be turning our lights on and off on the racetrack. Pretty sweet little piece. Next we have pass-throughs. So we got dash 3s, pass-through, bulkhead pass-throughs, and dash 4. I got these from Jegs. They actually came in these really nice bags, although they did not come with the locking nut. If you didn't know, 7/16 work with dash 4s. That's what the thread pitch is on the outside. It's a 7/16, so I've got a couple of nuts I'm going to use to lock these guys in place. And I'll probably put a lock washer on the other side with it as well. So these guys are going to be our pass-throughs for inside of the car, through the firewall and into the engine bay. So we've got plenty of those to be able to knock that out with. And finally, we've got probably the coolest piece of hardware. Again, if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, then you wouldn't have seen this. This is from Voss Switch. This is a really sweet piece of hardware. If you want, there's the really well made wiring diagram. If you can't tell what this is already, this is going to be our control panel for our lights, our battery, you know, just about everything in the car that has to do with power. This is what's going to control it. So here we have the switch. This is a very nice piece. This is billet aluminum. Nice click. You can turn it on and off just by standalone. So it's very convenient. It does come with a couple of different mounts, but we are going to be solid mounting this guy, or flush mounting this guy, as it does have this lip right here to a piece of either plastic or sheet metal. I haven't really decided yet. If you aren't in the full-on stripped car build, he does offer this for just about anything, and the way that he's able to do that is with this guy. This is actually a inline fuse link, so you can pull a fuse, whatever you may want, the mini fuses, plug this guy in, replace your fuse, put it in with this other 5, and this is your switched power to the module. I will not be using switch power. It will be hardwired to the battery. It'll probably be on a battery disconnect, honestly, to be able to turn the module on. And here are the brackets for the flush mount. Very nice. Comes with everything you need. Even comes with all the stickers, you know, for whatever you want to put on the switches. But this is the meat and potatoes. This is the piece de resistance. This is something that really ought to cost a little bit more. So here we go. This is the Switch UV100. A lot of guys, the Jeeps, I think a couple of Toyotas and a couple of I think it's the 4Runners, this is what they use. So here you have your main battery power. It's already got the breaker in here, going into a nice strainer leaf. These are your wires for your ground. This is ground, and this is your switch power. The red right here is going to be switch power that I just discussed. And this is the 13-foot long cable for your controller. So this is going to come really in handy, especially since I'm going to be probably putting this towards the back of the car. Haven't really decided yet. There's plenty of power lead here, so it might be in the middle of the car. Again, haven't really decided. Probably the best bet is going to be behind the passenger seat. So we'll see. But on the inside, if I can get it open, there it goes. You have all of your relays. It is extremely well labeled. They're all 40 amp relays. Down here you have all your switch numbers, so this tells you, you know, which switch, so which switch here is for what. You program your keypad to this, but it's on a circuit board. It's smart. It's got inline fuses in between each of these, and it also has a little indicator light up here to tell you that you blew a fuse, so it'll be blinking. You've got different options here, so basically, depending on what you want to do, if you want to run the switch power or not, you can switch these on and off, these two little switches. I guess they are switches. Yeah, you can switch one of them off, and that way you're not running switch power. And I talked to the owner, or the technical service guy. I don't really know, to be honest, if he was the owner, but yeah, I talked to the service guy, and he said that if you wanted to, you can actually extend these wires if you really needed to. He said 13 feet's probably enough for most applications, but depending on what you're doing, you can actually extend these wires if you need to. The other thing I'm really not impressed with is, again, strainer leafs. So you've got all your strainer leafs right here for all of your wiring needs. So I'm pretty sure that these are wired power. So when they switch over, they're just switching your power over rather than a ground system. So this is going to be your power system, and then you're going to have to run your grounds to a ground post or a ground, solid ground. But yeah, super sweet piece. Even comes with a diagram on the inside to tell you which and where everything goes. So extremely happy with this. I highly recommend it if you're going to be doing anything electrical, you know, for light bars or for whatever. I would highly recommend getting a system like this instead of just, you know, wiring up relays in your engine bay and having them kind of hang out. This guy is waterproof, is what they claim. I'm not probably ever going to test that because the car's not going to really be driven in the rain. So I just want to share these little pieces with you guys that I got, keep you guys updated, and let's go move over to the car. Alright guys, so here we are in the car. We're going to try and get these guys set in place. It's a little bit tricky. Let's see if I can get them sort of by hand first. Two. There's three. There's four. There we go. All right, they're all started. So let's get it tightened up. And don't worry about the finish on this guy. It's going to be covered up mostly. I know there's a little bit of overspray from miscellaneous things here and there. It is going to be mostly covered up because, like I said, we are going to be making a custom aluminum pan for this guy to set for to cover all these master cylinders. Gotta go get some aluminum probably this week. Not this week, probably next week. So by the time you guys seeing this, that following week. There we go. So that guy's in place, nice and sturdy. It's not going anywhere. So now we need to figure out how we are going to run the ports. I did get some hose from some pre-made hoses from Jegs. They were cheaper than me buying the fittings and everything, so we're gonna rock with those, and wherever they line up, that's where we're gonna go with the holes. Hopefully they line up where I think they're gonna line up, and we can secure them properly. So I'm gonna swap batteries real quick and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I went ahead and threw this guy in there, our Tilton remote reservoir. So here we are with our 6-inch lines. We're going to try and figure out where we want to get those guys to go. I'd like to keep them away as much as possible, so I'm thinking I'm going to bring them over here somewhere. I may end up bowing them and bringing them somewhere right in here. I haven't really decided. I may end up having to get a different fitting for this to maybe loop it. I might get another one to come this way, do an elbow, so I can come straight and loop it back. I think I will definitely do that tomorrow. So we go see our buddies over there at Hoser and go see if we can pick up another fitting. Probably just get those 90s back from them, honestly. If we can do that, then we can run these guys straight, loop them back, make them all nice and seamless, make them look very nice, very pleasing to the eye, I should say. Very much an aesthetic person. I love when things look proper. It's very pleasing to me. So I'm gonna throw you guys back on the mount and we'll go from there. So yeah, so I'm very much an aesthetic person. I don't want it to be just strictly functional. I want it to look good too, because if you're gonna do something right, you might as well do it, I mean, the right way the first time. So here we are with this guy. So this is going to be our feed line coming from the wonderful master cylinders. I don't really know exactly where I want these. Probably just gonna have to do something like this for right now. If I can get this guy started. There we go. So that's one started. And we might end up having to switch these because this guy's a 90. We may end up switching sides. But what I'd really like to do is have the flow to come something about like this. I'd like to put them right there if I could. I always want I want to have the brake line up. I don't want to have like any kind of kinks in it. I don't want to have like any kind of fill issues. So I think we're gonna have to come probably about right here somewhere. I don't know. I think I might switch it so that we have a little more room to work with. I think I have too long of a cable. So let's go like this. Put this guy on here. instead, because the bulkhead connectors I have, it doesn't matter which side I use, they're both -4 ANs. And I can even swivel this guy if I really needed to. So let's go like this. I can even tighten it up a little bit, maybe. Could I go this way with it? Yeah, I like that. Okay. Because that'll still be underneath the pedal. And then we can come up into here somewhere. Okay. Let's see where we go with that. I'll get the other one out. I might actually have to turn this guy around to face this way to then go back and out so that we're not so we're using up the maximum amount of hose. Like I said, these were pre-made hoses. I didn't want to spend the time or money on getting everything to do these. It is a lot of money to be able to make hoses. Fittings are about $10 a piece, $15 a piece in some instances, and I'd really just rather put that money towards something else. So if someone else makes a pre-made hose that I can use, that's probably what I'm going to go with, honestly. So I need to grab a crescent wrench to loosen that fitting back up, and I'll be right back. Alright, let's get this guy spun around. So I need to go this way. Loosen this guy up. Oh yeah, that's gonna work perfectly, because now this guy is not gonna be used. That was my main concern whenever I was looking at it the first time, was if I ran it this way, I was gonna have some issues. So, and I can even like tuck it, put it there, that might work even better. Keep it out of the way. I think I'm going to rotate it up. I think I am going to rotate it up so that it's like this. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Great, so that's great. I like how that looks. Takes up a little bit of the slack. All of these are now let me tighten these guys down a little bit. Don't want them to move anymore. That goes tight. Loosen him back up. Tighten him down. Oh, that goes tight. Well, I don't want to do that because I'm going to have to run it like this because I don't want there to be any air bubbles in the system. So I am going to have to lay it like that. Get out of there. I can lay it like that. That's much better. I like that. What do you guys think? I appreciate you bearing with me on this. I'm very indecisive when it comes to stuff like this, but that is sexy. Now, the only thing is that I don't like about this, there we go. So that makes it a little easier on me, because obviously this is clutch and these are brakes. Yes, they use the same fluid, but I like to know which one's what. So now that we have that sorted, what we need to look at is from the engine bay. I may just wait and have to go to Hoser tomorrow and pick up a couple more fittings. I don't want to drill any holes in the firewall before I absolutely have to. We are going to have to drill some holes for the bulkhead fittings, both the clutch and the brakes to go to this, where they need to go, where they need to be distributed to. The rear brakes are actually going to be tucked inside the car a little bit, but the front brakes are going to obviously go through the firewall and be distributed out of there. So there's going to be a little bit of hole punching. I know we just painted it and everything, but this was something that I didn't really plan on per se as far as this side of things. And honestly, I got a little carried away with everything else. So here we are. It's okay. We'll put some tape down. We'll drill a hole. It won't mess the paint up. And we'll go from there. But for right now, I think that's going to do it for today. We will catch you guys on Saturday because I'm going to take tomorrow off, which is Friday. So thank you guys again. We'll catch you in the next clip. All right, guys. Check it out. Completely cleaned out. My dad and I came over and cleaned up a whole lot. We've got a good bit still to go. I got to get some gap filler and go along the bottoms where you see light. I'm just going to go around the whole building basically and fill all the gaps, but the backside I haven't really touched yet because I really don't know what to do with it yet. I got a little bit of overflow from my work that I'm gonna have to keep in here, which is no big deal. Sorry for the fan. But as most of this goes, I'm gonna reorganize it. I haven't, like I said, haven't decided about what to do back here yet. But this is it. This is the new shop. This is where we'll be doing the videos and making parts and pieces and modifications and all kinds of stuff. It's got hookups for welders already on the walls and stuff, extension cords, and a really nice welding table that's ridiculously heavy. And it's even got an exhaust fan, which is super nice. But there's still a little bit of cleanup to do. Like I said, we got a little bit of a ant issue that we're going to figure out. But we're going to come back and probably just gap fill this whole thing, and then they can't come in. So here we are. It's 4,000 square feet of soon-to-be race car shop. So super excited. A lot of hard work went into doing this today. I took a picture of what we were dealing with before, blowing it out and everything, and I'll post it after this video. So super excited. Here's to the future. I think we're gonna change the name a little bit as far as what we're gonna call this place. And I'll show you guys on that door whenever we get to it. So appreciate you guys coming back around. I guess it kind of just depends on if we come in tomorrow. I might come in here for a little while and get some things cleaned up after church, but we'll see how it plays out. I just want to get the floor all cleaned up and use this floor machine while I had it. So thanks for tuning in. Here's the future.